Good afternoon. Committee on Parole is called to order. My name is Pearl Wise. To my left is Mr. Marabella, and to my right is Mr. Roche. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about y'all?
We're good. Give us your name, your DOC number.
Dauntre R Honore 630211.
All right, Ms. Honore. We're here today for a revocation hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Do you have any staff in the room, or you by yourself?
Warden Juge for West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Warden. We appreciate you accommodating us this afternoon.
Thank you.
You have one participant today. We have Crystal Carter, your girlfriend. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to read the allegations and give you an opportunity to enter your plea of guilty or not guilty, with or without a statement. And after you complete your pleadings, your case has been assigned to Mr. Marabella, so he'll be interviewing you first. You understand the process?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we're gonna allow your girlfriend to speak, and then we'll render a decision. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to make a closing statement, and we'll render a decision.
Yes.
And Warren, if you want to share, and of course you're welcome to.
Yes, ma'am.
The allegations are number 4. You were arrested in Waukee Parish on about. Oh, sir, do you have an attorney?
Yes, ma'am, but I don't see why they not on. I guess they probably got on it earlier, and when they seen ain't nobody come, that they logged off, but her and my auntie should have been on here with us.
Okay. We're looking now. We're looking for that. They never logged in. That's the girl? Your girlfriend have your auntie's number? Can you reach out to her and see what's going on? No, she doesn't. Would you like to continue this hearing until such a time that your attorney can be with us?
No, ma'am, we could do it now.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
From what I'm hearing, they checked in this morning, and when they were contacted to log in, they were unable to reach it.
No, they never checked in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Correction. They never checked in this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Roche. Yeah, the rule violation is number 4. You were arrested in Waukee Parish on or about 9/30 of 2022 for committing the offenses of domestic abuse, battery, and simple criminal damage to property on or about 9/27 of 22. On October the 12th of 2022, you were billed with committing the offense of disturbing the peace by fighting. You pled guilty to the offense of disturbing the peace by fighting on October the 12th, 22, and you were sentenced to serve 30 days in the parish jail, and you were given credit for time served. How do you wish to plead?
Guilty with a statement.
All right, good. Thank you, Mr. Marabella.
Thank you very much. Mr. Honore, my name is Tony Marabella. Your case was assigned to me, so I'll start the interview process, okay?
Yes,
How old
sir.
are you, Mr. Honore?
27.
Mr. Honore, you've been in jail since September the 30th, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you went to jail, were you working?
Yes, sir.
Where were you working?
I was working at Dollar Tree and at a party rental place. I was renting out spacewalks and slip and slides and all kind, doing parties. We was
Okay. You were paroled in May of 21, is that right?
yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me, when did you go to work? How soon after you got paroled did you go to work?
It took me like 2 months to actually find a job, but like around August, I worked every day since August. And I was a full-time student the whole time I've been home.
Tell me where were you in school at?
Miller My Online College. I started it June 1st.
What were you studying?
Business management.
And your girlfriend is here today. She's the victim in this case. What's her name?
Crystal Carter.
How long you and Krista been together?
Right now, like a little over a year.
Were y'all living together back in September?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me what happened on that day. You said you plead guilty with a statement. Tell me what happened.
Like, we ain't got the best of relationship, but it never got violent. We don't get violent with each other. I come from a long line of domestic abuse when seeing my mama growing up. So I don't get violent with people. I can admit I got an anger problem. I do get loud. But it all started from an infidelity that I never really got a chance to do. It's just, she was on my Instagram page and she seen some messages between me and somebody.
Let me stop you for a second. Whose infidelity?
Mine. At that time, mine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she seen some messages in my Instagram that she ain't like, and she took over my Instagram page and went to posting stuff, and that got everybody thinking like I'm going crazy or something. She just took, so I went to really get my phone from her. And when I got there, we got in an altercation, but all I did was really take my phone from her. I never got physical with her at all, because I got a lot of family members out here. I had a niece out there, my nephew was out there, everybody was out there. I never got physical with her at all. I just wanted to get my phone out of her hand so she could stop posting everything on the internet.
Let me ask you a question. Now, you were in prison for what? Armed robbery?
Armed robbery, yes, sir.
How long were you in prison?
A little right at 8 years.
When you were in prison, did you take any anger classes or anger management or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what sort of things did you learn in those anger management classes?
I learned just resistance and to stay away, because like as a violent offender, they say we got a tendency to get violent. But I come from a long line of being quiet. I blow up because I hold a lot of things in, and when it gets to the point where I just get fed up, I let everything out. So I learned to start voicing my opinions more instead of holding things in. So it really just taught us that everything is not meant to get violent. Like a passionate argument is different than putting your hands on somebody. And I never got physical with people because I feel like if we can't talk it out, we need to get around each other.
What do you think you might have done differently than what you did?
In this situation, I should have, I owned up to it. I think that would made it worse because I really owned up to it. But I really think that I should have slowed down a little and ain't get so aggressive, get so loud, because I got a tendency to, I feel like when we argue, we make friends. So when I get quiet, I don't want to talk about nothing. So I argue with her so we could get an understanding, but I should have just left all that alone altogether.
What's the status? I mean, you've been in prison now, what, 5 months, 6 months?
Yes, sir.
What's the status of your job?
Oh, it should be over with now.
Okay, so you how long did it till you said it took you 4 or 5 months to get that job? Who were you working for? I know you were working for like
it was called B&J's. It's Alvin Brew and his wife they own their company, and they recruited me to do it because they know I got a big platform when it comes to people. I'm a people person, and I got a lot of things going on from my Big Brother programs I'm trying to start. I got a lot of things going on, so they use me as the face of their company to get clients.
you think you'll be able to get that job back?
Yes, sir. But if not, I got a lot of avenues of things that I do. Like I work for a temp service, so I always have jobs. And I use the temp service to get a lot of experience because I left the streets when I was just turning 18, so I never knew nothing but school. So I used the temp service to get experience in a lot of different trades and learn how to do a lot of different things. I got a lot of first experience going on.
What have you been doing since you've been in West Baton Rouge?
Really trying to get my mind together. I've been working out, trying to stay to myself. I've been praying a lot. I started a prayer circle in the dorm. So I just been trying to keep a level mind, and I've been trying to keep my school stuff going. So I've been letting Crystal log on to my page, and I've been going with her, helping her do my work so I could keep my grades up so I wouldn't drop out of school.
Are you still in school? You're still
Yes,
trying
sir.
to keep on in school?
Yes, sir. I would have graduated in November, but I missed some classes due to being incarcerated, so on my graduation day is in May.
Let me ask you this, would you be willing to take, a domestic violence program?
I don't see why not. I already take counseling as it is already. I signed myself up for counseling.
What kind of counseling? You talking about in prison or when you were out?
Look, and this when I was out, I go to a therapist. Like I
Who
got
you go-
bad anxiety, so I go to a therapist 2 times a week to talk about my problems. And it was my old school secretary, so she took me in and we have a good relationship going to counseling 2 times a week.
I'd like you to go to some sort of anger management program. I'll make a decision later on. You'd be willing to do that?
Yes, sir.
Who's there with you? Let's see if we can get some information from the staff there.
Hi, Warden Jude is here.
Warden, what can you tell us about, how he's been doing there?
He's had one write-up for defiance, but that's been it. He hadn't been here this long. He was transferred here because Point Capee is under renovation, so we took some of their offenders. But that's been about it. I think some other guys were cutting up in the dorm and they got their phones and TV turned off, and he got a little bit irate about that because it punished everybody in the dorm.
Thank you very much, Warden. We appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Roche.
Good afternoon, Mr. Honore.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Roche?
Good. Mr. Honore, you said it never got physical.
No, sir.
I understand that the telephone broke. The screen broke.
Yeah, the screen broke on. I really broke it was my phone. I really took it and broke it myself.
Why were there pieces of glasses all over your girlfriend's body? I think her hands had particles of glass. She had some marks around her neck.
Well, the marks is supposed to be around her arm, and that was my main organ. I'm like, if I choked her like the thing said, she would have had marks around, because I got long nails. I would have scratched her a lot. But
Okay, what I'm saying is, where did the glass particles come from?
that's come from her picking up the phone after I threw it on the ground.
Now, if nothing happened physical, why did you plead guilty to domestic abuse, plead guilty to disturbing the peace by fighting? Fighting is a physical thing. Why did you plead guilty?
Because I was really misinformed, and I was under the impression that if I take, because they told us if I don't take the misdemeanor, that means she would have had to go to jail for false incrimination for taking back her statement. And I was under the impression that if I plead guilty to this, take the misdemeanor, I'll get credit for time serving, they'll let me go home. But that did not happen.
And let me inform you. A misdemeanor is not a revocable offense.
Yes, sir.
But a violent misdemeanor is a revocable offense.
Yes.
There's a difference between a misdemeanor and a violent misdemeanor. Disturbing the peace by fighting is a violent misdemeanor.
And I really wasn't aware of that at the time, but the judge come back and said after he read the affidavit, he said if it was up to him, she would have went to jail and I would have went home because I really ain't do nothing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hello, Warden Jude, how are you?
I'm good, Mr. Alvin. How you been?
I'm good, I'm fine, thank you. Nice hearing your voice.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Honore, so before we hear from Crystal, what is y'all relationship today?
we're currently still in a relationship. Right now,
Yeah.
she taking care of my elderly father while I'm in jail, and she handling all my expenses. So she got control of all my money and everything. She handling everything I need done on the outside. She the one running back and forth trying to get the people to release me. It's really only me and her. We the only two we really got.
Yeah, because I heard you say that. You giving her your passcode again?
Yeah,
Where
she
to
got
go in?
everything. She
So
got
you-
my
you
social
don't-
security number. She got everything.
You're not worried that she might get mad and do something different and have you back in jail?
That scares me a lot. It really does. And I try not to dwell on it so much because I don't want her to change her mind going on things because people talk and they feel like, oh, he not from the way things go, they feel like I shouldn't be with her no more because of what happened. Because after doing all that time, they feel like a person that put me back in jail is not good for me. And I feel the same way too, but it's kind of hard to, after being invested in so much, we done had 2 miscarriages together. My first ever being in a relationship where I had a child on the way. We done had so much going on together. It's kind of hard to just walk away from it without trying. No relationship.
Okay. Okay, I get it. I get it. I'm picking up what you put down. Do you know her social security number?
Yes.
Okay, well, as long as it's mutual. So at this time, if no further questions, that's Ms. Crystal Carter, would you unmute and tell us what you would like us to know?
How you doing?
Good, good. Can you bring it up? Thank you. Ms. Crystal, what would you like us to know?
Well, basically, he really summed it all up. He really wasn't physical. It was his phone. I picked up the phone because I bought him that phone. So I just wanted the phone so I could get the SIM card out of it. And I picked it up, so it was my fault. They said that I had marks around my neck. I didn't have any marks around my neck because he never touched me. As I said, as for him getting loud, I was the one that was confrontational. At one point, if I did have a bruise on my arm or something, maybe it was because his niece came to grab me and get me off of him. They tried to prosecute him about all of his wrongdoings, but no one ever brought forth that I had blood on my t-shirt, which was his. And no one never brought that forth for my wrongdoing. And they never tried to hear his side of the story.
Oh, so you had cut him or scratched him? How did he come out feeding?
He broke that phone. I paid $200 for that phone, so I hit him with it.
Gotcha. All right.
I've got a question.
Go ahead. Ms. Marabella has a question for you.
Why did you tell the police he strangled you and threw you on top of the car? But don't tell me you didn't say that.
Yeah, I said it in the spur of the moment,
What
thinking that
spur of moment?
in the spur of the moment from his infidelity, thinking that I can hurt him as much as he hurt me, not
So
knowing
you
that.
got him in jail now for 6 months. That's what you wanted to accomplish?
No, sir.
Had you ever called the police on him before?
No, sir.
Why did you do it this time?
I just wasn't thinking.
Sure you were thinking. You wanted to get him for some reason, either because he choked you or because you thought he was cheating.
I didn't think he was cheating. I knew he was. I was getting all of his messages at the time that he was sending them. So it's not the point of thinking. It's the point of knowing. It's like I was there the whole time when I wasn't.
How long were y'all together?
Before he went to jail, we were together 8 months.
That's all.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Carter, for participating today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Henri, what you want us to know before we vote? Oh, we can't hear you.
All right. Yes, like through my times, like I never been in a real relationship because I left so young. And honestly, I can say I just kind of got scared because she older than me. She got me like by 11, 12 years. And I never been through a miscarriage before to be telling all my family and I'm about to have a child for the first time and losing a child. A lot of things I was going through a lot, especially with my health, my anxiety at the time. So I found out late that the baby was gone after I done sat there all this time planning this and that, doing this and that to try to accommodate for the child that's coming, just to find out that it was no more child. So I was really I was hurt and depressed a lot. So, and from her being so older, I felt like, man, it's probably she can't have a child because she up in age right now. So I really was trying to wing away and keep from being hurt again, because man, that's a hard pain to lose a child. And I never experienced a lot of things before. That's why I say I'm truly appreciative of our relationship because it taught me a lot. It taught me what not to do. It taught me what things to do in a relationship. It taught me how to care for a person and how to love a person, because I never went through that before. After 8 years of being in prison, all I really knew was prison because I left at so young of an age. But when I got out there, it's like I never had left. I then brought 2 cars in 10 months. I kept a job. I was working on buying an apartment. I really had a lot of responsibilities and everything was just weighing on me. But at the same time, I still was young in the mind. Even though I was mature, I still wanted to live the life that I didn't have. And for me, jumping in a relationship so early, I couldn't do half the things that a person that been gone so long want to do. My party, I ain't go to parties like that. I used to be in the house by 11 o'clock doing schoolwork. I worked all day. I come home, take care of my daddy, and I go to school. So I really was not having a life like that. So when I did get a chance to do something and step out, I did it. And sometimes it just went wrong for me. Sometimes I was never in a good spot.
Now I have one last question before we vote. Probation parole, did they offer you an opportunity to do a domestic violence program in lieu of revocation?
Not that I remember.
Yep. Oh, okay, then they didn't offer.
Oh, maybe so.
Mhm. It was interesting there, I didn't see it.
Thank you.
I need to write it. So you said no, the officer did not offer that to you? You don't
No.
recall having that conversation with the probation officer?
No, ma'am.
All right, that's all I have. Panel ready to vote?
I have a,
Okay.
let me ask you this, Mr. Honore, how long had you been going to counsel?
I was going for since the miscarriage. We had the miscarriage in like the end of May, and I've been going since then.
Now, is it just you going or was she going with you?
Now, that's one thing I got to do by myself, so I got to speak more freely about things because I try to bite my tongue to keep her from feeling hurt about some of the things that come out my mouth. So that's something I went through by myself so I could really get things off my chest, so I could really open up about myself, because she come to all my doctor's appointments with me, so I can't really speak then. But in that one-on-one with me and my counselor, me and my therapist, I really get to express myself better.
Let me ask you this, whose idea was it to go to that counsel?
Me and my doctors.
What doctor? You have another doctor?
Miss Crystal Chase of Maringouin. She is I was going to her for my anxiety and for my depression and mental stress. So I was going to her for that. And she, since that was my teacher in high school, and she actually really know me well. She like, man, I got a counselor. That was our counselor at the high school at Punkapi Central. So she wanted me to go talk to her and see was it okay with me to actually go put her in my life. And I agreed to go do it.
Thank you, Mr. Honore. I appreciate it. All right.
Okay. Now, and I do want to go and stay on the record before we vote. That the officer did, indicate that you were current on your fees. You were, doing what you could.
Yes, ma'am. I paid my fees up to like 4-5 months before I come to jail, so I was still in the good when I got incarcerated.
Mhm. All right, that's all I had.
Okay, Mr. Honore, I had a different view till I talked to you. I think you did a good interview today. I think you're an honest man. I believe you.
Yes, sir.
I
Thank you for that.
I believe it happened the way you said it happened. And I believe that your girlfriend lied on you. You've been in jail for 5 or 6 months. I think that while you're in counseling, it may be none of my business, but you might want to rethink this relationship.
Yes, sir.
That's up to you, and I ain't getting in the middle of that. That's not my concern. That's not my problem. Okay. I do think you could benefit from some anger management. So my vote today is going to be based upon what you've told me today, and I believe that the way you said it is exactly what happened. That's what you said to the policeman a long time ago. That's what you said today. This lady went before the judge and asked to resolve the restraining order against you. I don't know if the judge made the comment that you said, but if I were the judge, I probably would have made that comment. So my vote today would be not to revoke you, but to add as a special condition, you continue your counseling, because I think that's an excellent idea and you're doing the right thing, and that you a 26-week DBOP program, because that will not only help you in terms of your anger, but it will also help you in terms of what's a healthy relationship and what's not a healthy relationship. Okay? I'm just one vote. I hope you can get your job back. Seems like you were doing really good until you got this issue. Now, I am concerned you had a defiance while you were in there, and I understand it might have not been the worst thing that could have happened, as the warden explained it, but that DBOP program will help you with that as well. So that's my vote. I'm only one vote, so I don't know what else is going to happen.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Mr. Roche.
My vote is the same for the same reasons.
All right, Ms. Honore, my vote is the same, to do not revoke. You'll be returned to supervision with the special condition that's been outlined. Unfortunately, it's like more stuff has been added to your plate, but I really urge you at your young age to make the counseling and your weekly domestic battery classes a priority in your life. And if you will find that your 40s and your 50s and your 60s, those decades will be a lot better because of the information that you have. And best wishes to you, sir. Your parole has been restored. I want to thank you, West Baton Rouge, for accommodating us so well. The sound was good this morning, this afternoon. We appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am, and y'all have a good day.
You're a joke. Okay.
Wow. His girlfriend scares me. I am so glad that the board investigated this, because, through the hearings, I was like, first, it's the typical thing. He's lying. She's making it up, pretending that, they're all pretending that he wasn't violent, but good for them. Good for the board for investigating this one. They did a great job. They could have easily just shut it down. But the more that I watched it, and the more that he was talking, she scares me in the sense that, she's 11 to 12 years older. She has his social security number. She has access to all of his information. Even her temper sparked up when you heard, she kind of yelled back at the board. She said, she said, well, he broke my phone and I paid $200 for it. So I hit him with it. It was like, whoosh. She comes to him to all of his doctor's appointments. Wow. I really wonder, I know that this is just speculation, but they were only dating 8 months. And he said that she had 2 miscarriages. I have heard of many relationships where the woman pretends to be pregnant to keep someone involved, and to have 2 miscarriages in 8 months, is that something that happens? I just don't know. There said you might want to retry rethinking this relationship. Mr. Marabella really dove in. He's like, well, then why you called the police because either he choked you or because he was cheating? You know, I think really, I think, yeah, he was cheating. She caught him cheating. And then as a control thing, she said, you know what, you're not going to be with her. I'm going to send you to jail. Yeah, he does need to rethink this relationship. She is going to be nothing but trouble for him. He seems like a smart kid, a hardworking kid. And he never hit her. You know, they keep saying attend this class, attend that class. She's the one that should attend the class. He's going to therapy twice a week. I mean, that's amazing. And he broke the phone, which I think a lot of people would do. And it was his blood on her shirt. She hurt him. Then she got him locked up. You know, one way to think about this, if you're unsure, imagine if the roles were reversed and it was the girl in prison and it was the man on the outside. You know, it's scary to think that you can spend 5 months in jail for something you didn't do. What was his original offense? I don't even... Wow. Good job on the parole board, really. They kind of have been upsetting me lately, but that was great. With that, I'll let you go.